Chapter 522 Force Channel. You are still too weak. Not only is your space growth slow, but your stability is also very poor. Once you are promoted to the planetary level, the situation will improve. Dulong sighed again. The wormhole shuttle and life capsule space mastered by the Protoss are space technologies that humans have the hope of analyzing and learning through scientific and technological means. The life capsule space of the 8th level demigod is generally more than 10 cubic kilometers. The life capsule space of the 9th level god is even stronger, reaching 100 cubic kilometers. There are also weapons bred in the life capsule space, which have ever-changing shapes and materials that improve as their strength grows. The material technology currently mastered by humans is still hopeless to analyze. Dulong sighed. The information capacity of the brain of human scientists, their ability to think and their lifespan. All kinds of factors restrict the progress of scientific and technological civilization. If human technology wants to enter the 8th level, the race, genetic genes must have a qualitative improvement. Senior Dulong, you misunderstood me. Bamboo said shyly. The growth of the life capsule space requires a lot of force. As far as I know, the dojo has a special force supply system. Dulong understood what Bamboo meant and said, the dojo force supply system does have a lot of surplus. But the dojo is an independent system, and is not controlled by me. Sure enough. Bamboo asked, how much is left? Do you remember? Dulong said, it just so happens that there are related memories saved, and there are about 30 megabytes left. I understand. Bamboo smiled and asked, the dojo's energy room fuel is exhausted? I will appropriately destroy the force chamber. It shouldn't cause any big problems. Right? Dulong said, no. I understand. Bamboo said, I need to rest for a while. 1 month later. Bamboo's life weapon has a diameter of about 2.7 centimeters. And the long diameter of the life capsule space has reached 0.8 meters. Both things have reached the limit corresponding to the L2 Cockroach King. At this time, the O-type force pattern of the life capsule space has grown to 2 rings. And the rate of condensing the force speeds has almost doubled. It only takes about 3 hours to condense one. You need to rest in the middle. You can harvest 5 beads a day. If you are full, you can work continuously for 10 days at a time. Bamboo gave up after working for half a month. In a month, at most 144 speeds can be harvested, which is equivalent to 1.4 million raw stones. The rate is still too slow. Baba has gone out long ago and started to teach the Rat King and Baiju Star sword art. Dulong has been floating in the air, staying not far from Bamboo. Bamboo asked, where are the force foods stored on the spacecraft? Can you take some out? I need to grow. Dulong said, this requires the authority of a human warrior. Moreover, now that the command cabin is separated from the main body of the spacecraft, the force foods are placed in a special cabin of the spacecraft. They can only be withdrawn after the cabin docking is completed. Bamboo asked, can't you take it out? No. The spacecraft parts are manufactured separately in different factories and stored in different places. The final assembly will be done before departure. Dulong said, the force foods produced by the Protoss are rich in variety and good in quality. You can use them for the time being. Bamboo said, you have to spend raw stones to buy them. I belong to a poor and nearly extinct tribe in the Protoss. Dulong thought for a while and said, I can't think of any way to help you. Isn't it still early for the stars to go dark? You are not anxious to grow up. Yes. It's okay. Forget it. I will find a way to solve it myself. Bamboo shook his tentacles and said, I will do a test first. Is it okay to slightly destroy your inheritance dojo? Dulong said. One day, everything on the mother planet Earth will be rebuilt. There are still some usable ones left. Take them if you need them. There is no need to ask so much detail. In the center area of the dojo, there were special instruments to replenish the original force. But they were all removed when the inheritance forbidden area was built. Bamboo wanted to use the original force left by the dojo's original force supply system, so he could only guide it from the middle residential area. The original stones were excavated from the remaining original stone vein in Honghua County of the original Black Cockroach tribe in the central region of the continent and transported to the canyon. The Rat King and Baiju used their earth and stone abilities to reshape these original stones, compress and strengthen them, and form a force transmission pipeline. Bamboo then used his metal ability to wrap a layer of pipe surface to strengthen it. After half a year of hard work, it was finally done. The pipe connected to the private force chamber of a residential building in the middle area. and extended along the excavated passage to the entrance of the inheritance forbidden area in the center. Baba activated the power to open the supply system of the force chamber, and the rate was set to release force equivalent to 60 force crystals per day. The crudely made force transmission pipeline leaked all the way, and the force delivered to the inheritance forbidden area was less than 10%. If it was delivered to the inheritance hall, the door could not be closed and part of it would leak out. According to a rough estimate, less than 5% of the energy can be used in the end. Bamba thought about it carefully. Under the current circumstances, it is not feasible to make a fortune by using the ability of the life capsule space to condense the force beads. The rate at which the life capsule force veins absorb the force is affected by the external force concentration, and the rate of condensing the force beads is affected accordingly. The biggest problem is that if the door is open a crack, it will be difficult to increase the force concentration in the inheritance hall. If the strength continues to improve, it may get better. Continue to stay in the inheritance dojo for 2 years. After eating the force food brought, return to Liju Peak as planned. Bamba was promoted to L2 Cockroach King. The magical veins activated by the third heart are still releasing the force and transforming genes. It took 3.5 years and is coming to an end. At the second heart position, the third and fourth small magical powers corresponding to the second magical tree can be lit up next. There are a total of 300 magical veins, which consume less than 50 million raw stones, absorbing muons and muon neutrinos respectively, and converting them into force. After the gene evolved once, the ability of the second heart to absorb electrons and electron neutrinos and convert them into the force was initially activated. But the efficiency was not very ideal, and only 200 raw stones of force were produced every day. It can be predicted that when the second magical tree of the second heart is fully activated, the force produced every day is about the amount of 2,000 raw stones. Adding the 1,000 produced by the first magical tree every day, the total is 3,000. In the environment without the force, it is more than enough for the daily survival of the Cockroach King level. In the force environment, the produced force can be controlled by will, or injected into the heart to light up other magical veins, or injected into the life capsule. In the future, when we enter the starry sky, we can produce force beads in an endless stream. Bamboo 169 years. Metal materials are refined and manufactured in Chiwu Mountain. They are transported thousands of miles away by high-speed trains across Longzhou continent, and then across the ocean to Qijian continent, and finally unloaded near the coast of the western end of the continent. Bamboo took the Rat King and set out to repair the plank road that connects Qijian continent with the opposite continent, continuing to explore westward. As expected, another continent is similar to the 10,000 races continent, with abundant force and a large number of insect warriors living. So far, it is 100% confirmed that the surface of the mother planet Earth is divided into 8 continents by the illusion barrier, of which 4 are exhausted in force, and 4 are abundant in force, with warriors living. The exploration of the last continent was first discovered by the black and white cockroach tribe, the top planting dragon cypress, and according to the agreement, it was named Dragon Cypress Continent. All 4 continents with depleted original power have been completely connected, and the total number of warriors participating in the treasure hunt exceeds 154. And there are harvests almost every year, in the mountains on the southwest side of Liju Peak. The warehouses storing the remains of the divine products and divine seeds have been expanded year by year, from the initial 5 to 30. At present, the Red Bladdish tribe has 2 cockroach kings, Bamboo and Qijian, who take turns to lead the warriors to carry the remains back from Chiwu Mountain one by one on an annual cycle. The development of Liju Peak has entered a new peak period, changing with each passing day. After the number of tribe warriors increased, the many forests built on the basis of high-quality plants expanded rapidly and began to produce similar benefits to the 9 forests of Chiwu Mountain almost every year. An uncertain number of divine seeds are born. Most of these divine seeds are bred as life seeds by the corresponding warriors. And at the same time, the special high-quality ones are selected and sown in Liju Peak to cultivate wild divine seeds as the foundation for the sustainable development of the tribe. Chapter 523, Northern Wild Beasts Revolt. Having made up his mind to escape on a human spaceship, Bamboo has been more concerned about the changes in the number of stars in the night sky than ever before. Long-term observation and statistics show that the number of stars decreases by 1 every 3.5 years on average. In the 185th year of Bamboo, the number of stars in the night sky completely fell below 90. At the same time, There are changes in the number of new young warriors born each year in the red bladdish cockroach tribe and the red bladdish cockroach king. According to statistics, when the total number of warriors was 8,000, the number of young warriors born each year was about 170. At present, the total number of warriors has reached 12,000. But the number of young warriors born each year is only about 180. A disproportionate growth. It is easy to predict that when the number of stars in the night sky is less than 30, the number of warriors will enter a negative growth mode. L3 Bladdish King. 30 years after the last genetic evolution. The situation is much better this time. When I woke up from my deep sleep, I only felt slightly weak, and I recovered after eating a moderate amount of food. The first and third hearts. The effect of the magic veins to strengthen and transform the physique was completely exhausted, and due to the limitation of strength, it could not be lit up and activated again. After Bamboo completely recovered from the weakness of the dormant evolution, he immediately ordered to use the original stone and the blood thorns to help start lighting up the second heart, the last two small magic powers of the second magic tree. Because he has been staying in Liju Peak for decades, the original force produced by the second heart itself, plus the original force fed back by the life plant, are all used in the second heart, and only more than 40 million original stones are actually consumed. After years of persistence, 5 million original stones are stored every year. The reservoir on the south side of Liju Peak has accumulated as many as 150 million original stones at the bottom of the reservoir. Gulong didn't mind about the unique martial arts of the human race, and Bamboo didn't mind it even more. The 8-headed bamboo rat warriors, the big bear, the tea, and the capsule grass all practice genetic martial arts, saving a lot of raw stones. The saved raw stones can be used on other warriors. Among them, the Rat King and the Golden Bamboo grew the fastest, especially the Rat King. With S-level talent, the annual consumption is reduced to 100,000 raw stones, but the growth rate is better than before. Every 10 years, it will sleep and evolve once, quickly reaching the L7 Princess, Belly Bamboo, which consumes up to 1.5 million raw stones every year, is only the L9 Princess at this time, and it will take another 10 to 20 years to dare to be promoted to the Cockroach King. Early spring, February, drizzle, dusk. Bamboo was bored, lying in the bamboo forest at the foot of the mountain, chatting with the giant dragon bamboo tree spirit, discussing a very profound question: should electronic life be considered an independent life form? The in-depth discussion is the various personality defects shown by Baba, and the reasons for these defects. The further discussion is that if a human's memory is digitized and converted into electronic life, will its personality change over time? And will the defects that electronic life should be manifested? Life is very leisurely and comfortable. There is a food plate in front of him, filled with various high-quality force foods. A few days ago, there were also big bears, rat kings, white bamboos, dabalos, green bamboos, and other guys who joined in the fun and ate and drank along the way. Soon, they found that Bamboo's communication with the giant dragon bamboo tree spirit was a headache, and they discussed the same topic over and over again every day. After a few days, only the Rat King was left to listen silently. Bamboo, the caravan is coming. Baiju, with a long sword on his waist, hurried over to report. Few warriors use sword-type weapons, and the heavy and simple silver edge-level sword left by Master Bai of Chuanqing Dojo has become a hot commodity. Baiju and Rat King, neither of them was willing to give in, and agreed to use it for 3 days each. Baiju was the most exaggerated. Every time it was his turn, he would put it on his waist, put on clothes, and put on a cap. He looked like a rat but was complacent, strolling around the bamboo sea to show off. It should be that he ran into the caravan while strolling. Where are we going? After passing Huishu Mountain, we will soon reach the mountain range. This year seems to be a little strange for caravans. Chonglu, Yuzhu, Xijing, and Xianghuan arrived at the same time. Bamboo waved his tentacles and said, "Pack your things. Don't be idle all day and wander around. If you don't have talent, practice hard. When the time comes, if your strength can't catch up, you will stay at Liju Peak and help me take care of the younger warriors." "Oh! Oh! Oh!" Baiju responded repeatedly. His eyes focused on the force food that Bamboo had not finished eating, and his tone was obviously perfunctory. Bamboo was too lazy to care about it and walked up the mountain. When they walked onto the mountain trading square, a large caravan arrived along the trade road. Chonlu was promoted to Spider King 8 years ago. Among the 4 caravans, he is currently the only king level and is walking in the front. Spider King Chonlu, Princess Yuju, Princess Zijing, Princess Xianghuan. Bamboo greeted them one by one. Bamboo Cockroach King. After a brief greeting, Bamboo said curiously, Princess Xianghuan, Princess Zijing, you arrived in Liju County a whole month earlier this year. Princess Xianghuan said worriedly, our caravan received news that last winter, nearly 10,000 northern wilderness beast warriors attacked the mountain border guarded by the Central Region Thunder Centipede Kingdom, breaking through the defense line and heading south. Princess Zijing followed up and said, the beast tribe in the northern wilderness has begun to expel weak warriors, and the beast chaos on the continent is about to begin. According to past rules, there will be no peace for decades. It is also dangerous for our caravan to travel, so we plan to travel together. Chonlu said, there are 7 small caravans at the Bamboo Sea Trading Square at the foot of the mountain. They do not have enough self-protection capabilities, so they will follow us. We plan to stay in Liju County for 10 days. King of the Cockroach, you can notify the county warriors to come to trade. Is the situation so serious? Bamboo asked, are there no caravans going to those remote small mountains? Chonlu replied, in recent decades, I'm afraid they dare not go there anymore. Based on the experience of the tribe, the beast warriors from the northern wilderness, who drive south, are completely unruly. They will rob any mountain range that can be robbed, including caravans. Yuju added, beast warriors especially like to hide in desolate mountains where there are few warriors. Our big caravans dare not go there. So how can small caravans dare to go there? Chonlu said, Princess Bamboo, from now on, our caravans will go there every year. They will come to trade at this fixed time, and will stay for 10 days, all the way north, and stay in Chijian County for 3 days. You can notify other mountain warriors in the tribe to go to trade nearby. I understand. Bamboo said, that means that the types of force food sent to Liju County every year will not decrease but increase. Chonlu said, more or less. During this period, there are more caravans gathering in the rich counties, and those desolate and barren mountains are no longer visited by caravans. The rich may not become richer, and the poor even poorer. Yuju sighed helplessly. The prosperous era is about to pass, and it will only become more difficult in the future. Princess Xianghuan asked, Bamboo, how many warriors are there in Liju County now, facing the beast disaster in the northern wilderness? It should be no problem to protect themselves? Bamboo said, it should be about the same. Almost 2,000 warriors. Princess Zijing reminded, be careful of the flying raptor warriors. I heard that they have a looting mode. In the season when the original force food is ripe, hundreds of flying raptor warriors will raid and rob in groups, which is hard to guard against. The 4 caravans are sincerely worried about the safety of Liju County. After all, this is their main source of profit when traveling around the continent. Calculating the time, the prosperous period can last about 200 years. The caravans do not want Liju County to be invaded by beast warriors because of its late development and insufficient number of warriors. I understand. Bamboo thought for a moment and said, don't worry. I have already agreed with Chiwu Mountain. They will help. Bamboo said, let's trade first. Zhonglo Spider King, what new types of force food did you get last year? Not a lot, but you won't be disappointed. Zhonglo smiled and said, the trade routes that Yuju and I travel are basically fixed. With the breakthrough of the Spider King, many rich counties are willing to take out the real good things for trading. As expected, Bamboo still couldn't help but feel happy and said, take it out quickly. Let me see. Chapter 524, Just Electronic Life. The growth mode of insect warriors requires a large amount of various force foods, especially for the insect king level. Growth is difficult. In addition to the huge consumption of raw stones, there are also ways to obtain force foods, as well as the quality and quantity of force foods. The chaos of the northern wilderness beast tribe forced the caravans to walk in groups and gather in the prosperous counties. In fact, there are benefits in disguise. Liju County has 2,000 warriors, which is slightly less in number, but the quality is absolutely sufficient. There are nearly 1,000 warriors at the mountain master level, so there is probably no problem in dealing with ground combat. As for the raptor warrior air raid, that is a problem that Bamboo has considered for a long time. After sending the caravan away, Bamboo made detailed arrangements, organizing 3 patrol teams headed by Oil Tea, Sedge, and Dragon Bamboo to patrol the territory around the clock. Then he set off with Baizu and the Rat King to Chiwu Mountain. Chiwu Mountain also does not want any accidents to happen at Leju Peak. Ingxiao Butterfly King personally led 10 County Lord level and 150 Mountain Lord level Narrow Butterfly warriors to stay at Leju Peak. Leju Ghost King presided over the affairs of Chiwu Mountain. But he was not as generous as the previous Chiwu Ghost King. Provide combat assistance for a fee. They get 1 for free for each batch of Dragon Bamboo fruit produced. In addition, they need to bear the original force food required for the daily growth of the garrison soldiers, which is equivalent to spending 2 million original stones to hire every year. The current situation is not so severe. The defense measures are properly arranged. Bamboo set off to Chijian continent. The weather is fine. Xia Beizu is steering the 10,000-ton ship smoothly on the sea. Rat King and Baizu are all around Xia Beizu, listening to it talk about its sailing experience over the years and how to record and calculate the course. Bamboo lazily lay on the sampan, enjoying the sunlight. Baba lay in the shadow of Bamboo's side, and suddenly asked worriedly, "Bamboo, you ran to the canyon again, and took the Rat King and Baiyu with you. You are not stupid enough to really plan to leave on a human spaceship, right?" Bamboo asked back, "What's wrong with this? The spaceships made by humans for themselves have better overall performance, and the routes left for themselves are safer. The universe is destroyed and reborn. At present, various galaxies are in the early stages of formation. The chaotic primordial chaos is full of violent turbulence. I don't want to be cannon fodder and die in the space turbulence for the second time. And the mastermind behind my rebirth, no matter who it is, just run away, escape, find a place to hide, and continue to live comfortably. Do you think the human race is kind?" Baba said, "That old guy is obviously lying. You asked so many questions." But he was vague before the key point. Bamboo said, "That's him. I didn't lie." "You, stupid!" Baba said angrily, "If you want to leave, go by yourself. I won't leave with you. I haven't lived enough." "That's fine." Bamboo said, "Baba, in the future, when I leave, I'll trouble you to help take care of the little guy in Leju County." "Ah! I'm so angry!" Baba suddenly flew up and hit Bamboo's head hard, angrily saying, "On the human spaceship, you just wait to be dissected." "Uh-huh. Baba, you, after all, are just electronic life. Still a little tender." Bamboo shook his tentacles helplessly. Chuanqing Dojo, Inheritance Hall. The force was injected, and the futon split open, revealing the hole leading to the command cabin. "Bamboo, you have evolved again. Not bad. These 2 rat warriors, the guy with a tuft of silver hair on his head has not grown much. This one is not good. You can eliminate it directly. They are bamboo rat warriors. It is called Rat King, a rare S-level force talent. This guy with a tuft of silver white hair on his forehead is called Baizu. He is poor talent, but he is very smart. Smartness is useless. Talent is good. You can complete the first 3 levels of Star Sword Art as soon as possible. S-level talent is indeed rare. So choose Rat King." Rat King asked weakly, "I have completed the 2nd level. Can I try it first?" Dulong said, "Yes. You can stay. It will take some time. I will teach you all kinds of knowledge related to spacecraft." Bamboo waved his tentacles and said, "Baizu, you are eliminated. Go and be responsible for ground hunting." "Oh." Baizu drooped his head and said, "Bamboo, I think I can." "You think it's useless." Bamboo said sternly, "Obey the arrangements of Senior Dulong." As he said that, the metal ability was activated. The door of the hall opened, and the pulse wings waved, sweeping Baizu out, and the door quickly closed again. Baba said, "Another force equivalent to 2.7 million raw stones was lost. What a pity." Bamboo felt a pain in his flesh, waving his tentacles, and told the Rat King, "Go down. Follow Senior Dulong to learn the necessary knowledge. And be careful. Otherwise, there are more than 1 bamboo rat warrior in Leju County. Do you understand?" The Rat King replied in fear, "I understand. Bamboo, you should be patient and tolerant to your subordinates." Dulong said in a soft tone, "Rat King, right? Come down first. I will briefly introduce the structure of the command cabin to you." The Rat King followed him into the cockpit. Bamboo lay at the entrance of the cave and watched. In the empty cabin, A comfortable seat rose from the floor, and Dulong guided the Rat King to sit on it. In front of him, a series of holographic projections lit up, corresponding to the structural analysis of each cabin of the spacecraft. Human spacecraft has a powerful computing system and advanced electronic intelligence. In most cases, it can be controlled by electronic intelligence for navigation. But there are many special cases, which must be guided by human wisdom and human will. Moreover, humans are not completely confident in electronic life. There are established routes during navigation, and every change outside the plan must be instructed by humans. The Rat King serves as the captain of the spacecraft. His main role is to issue various navigation orders. There are many things to learn, starting from the structure of the spacecraft and learning a full set of star navigation knowledge. Baba followed curiously, and was immediately slapped out by Dulong's sword, and the entrance to the cockpit was closed. "Bamboo!" Baba whispered. "The Rat King is fine." Bamboo smiled. This time it took as long as 2 months. The life capsule space has a long diameter of 1 meter, and a capacity of 220 liters. There is another circular force vein at the location where the force beads are condensed. At present, the 3 concentric circular force veins have increased the rate of condensing force beads. The force concentration is high enough to produce 1 force bead in about 1.5 hours. And the maximum number of force beads that can be condensed in 1 day is 10. However, the physical energy consumption is a bit large. After eating and drinking enough, it can only last for 5 days at a time, after opening and closing the door several times, plus the consumption in succession. After half a month, the closed force of the inheritance hall was consumed. The concentration decreased, and the speed of the life capsule condensing force beads decreased accordingly. Inject the force and open the hatch. Senior Dulong. How long does the Rat King need to learn? Too stupid. Dulong was a little annoyed and said, according to its IQ level, it may not be able to learn in 100 years. Bamba asked, how about changing to a smarter one? Interstellar navigation can't be sloppy. Boy, be patient. Dulong said, creatures like bamboo rats have limited IQs. And it's the same if you change them. However, you don't have to worry so much. Don't we have me and Xuanlong to assist? Its main function is to activate various permissions of the Authority spacecraft. That's right. Bamboo said, 100 years is too long. It still needs to grow. Dulong said, stay first. Study for 3 years. And figure out the basic structure and basic operation methods of the spacecraft. 3 years. Bamboo said, I can understand. But Dulong's temper seemed a little irritable, and he closed the hatch again in anger before Bamboo finished speaking. Bamboo waved his tentacles and called out, Baba, let's go and dig. Take Baidu and Xiaobezu with you to the mines of the former Honghua County in the central region. Dig out all the remaining ore in one go, and use the earth and stone to make a series of force pipes, connecting the force chambers in the middle-level residential buildings, and laying them directly to the inheritance hall in the center. The 3 force chambers release the force at the maximum rate at the same time. The 3 pipes transport the force to the inheritance hall at a flow rate of 18 force crystals per day. Bamboo lay at the mouth of the pipe in the hall, absorbing the force and condensing it into force beads. At the same time, Baba took Baiju and Xiaobezu and dug from the outer passage to another supermarket opposite the dojo. Chapter 525 Two Conditions. Even if he turned into a sword, Dulong still had the aura of a swordsman. Sharp and fierce, decisive in killing, and strict with himself. They agreed to let the Rat King leave on time in 3 years. Not a day more or less. Senior Dulong. How is it? Not bad. A little stupid. But as long as you work hard, you can still learn it. Then I'm relieved. Dulong turned his sword and looked at the simple and inferior force transmission pipeline designed and manufactured by Bamboo, and asked, you have been condensing force beads? What do you want these inferior force currencies for? It's a waste of time. Bamboo complained, there is no way. The tribe I belong to is too poor. Senior Dulong. The starry sky is vast, and the journey is long. I think that the force food stored on the spacecraft is limited. When we leave, it will be safer to take a large batch with us. I am collecting force food storage boxes. A total of 8,000. Later, I will dig up all the residential buildings of the dojo and search them. I should be able to collect 10,000. 10,000 boxes of force food can play a significant role in the starry sky. You are very careful in calculation. Not bad. Gulong praised, somewhat insincerely, and a little impatiently, saying, do whatever you like. However, don't delay your growth and miss the opportunity. How is the number of stars in the sky changing? Bamboo said, there are 90 left. And the average number of stars decreases by 1 every 3.5 years. After about 300 years, it will be reduced to the lowest. I have inquired from many sources, and it is said that this extremely depressed period will last for nearly 300 years, which means that we still have 600 years to prepare, which is more than enough. There is indeed plenty of time. Gulong felt a little relieved and said, but there is no need to waste time on trivial matters. I understand. Bamboo said, I condense the force beads to purchase and reserve force food. At the same time, it can also accelerate the growth of myself and other warriors, so that we can be ready as soon as possible. By the way, please pay attention to the number of Protoss warriors who follow you. Select the best ones. Gulong said, the growth of Protoss warriors requires too much force food. The force food stored in the spacecraft is limited. The starry sea is vast, and the future is unknown. I don't know how many years it will take to find a habitable planet. The warriors, if there are too many, and the reserve resources are insufficient, they will die of old age on the road. It is meaningless to take them away. Bamboo said, don't worry, Senior Gulong. I understand this. I understand. Gulong turned his sword body and looked at the spider silk bag containing force food placed on the delivery floor in the hall. Reminding, did you use electricity when transporting force food? If it is not handled properly, there will be traces of radio wave radiation. There will be no problem in a few years. But after a while, these things will deteriorate. Both ships and trains are powered by electricity. Bamboo uses lead sheets to isolate and shield the storage compartments. This is the simplest and most effective way to prevent radiation. But it is difficult to completely isolate it. The force food transported to the Qijin continent over long distances is dried fruit that can be preserved for a long time. Things that could originally be stored for more than 10 years may begin to deteriorate due to the force effect in a few years. For interstellar travel, force food needs to be preserved for a longer time. And this kind of radio wave radiation definitely does not meet the requirements. I understand. Bamboo said, when we leave in the future, I will use primitive mechanical methods to transport the stored force food. I understand. Gulong said, you urge the Rat King to practice hard and be promoted to Beast King first? Anyway, it is right to seize the time to grow. And there is still a lot of knowledge for it to learn. I understand. Senior Gulong. Don't worry. Bamboo replied repeatedly. The defense system left in the dojo can easily take your life. Be careful. Gulong gave a warning, got into the command cabin, and closed the hatch. 2 years later, a tunnel was finally dug to another supermarket in the dojo. The old method was to use ordinary cockroaches to exhaust the backup energy of the defense system and take away all the force food on the second floor of the supermarket. It happened that we could take a giant ship and transport all of it back in one trip. Bamboo did not lie. He went through a lot of trouble to collect force food storage boxes. He really planned to take a large number of high-quality force food with him when he left, and everyone would eat it slowly on the road. Chiwu Mountain, the territory of the Thunder Bamboo Ghost King, is full of giant dragon bamboo life seeds, dark and deep. There is also a clump of Thunder bamboo forest next to it. The Thunder Bamboo God-given seeds that were exchanged with Chiwu Mountain were directly sown and grew into wild God-given seeds. After more than 100 years of growth, they have successfully completed the first metamorphosis and growth. Thunder Bamboo Ghost King. Bamboo Cockroach King. The Thunder Bamboo Ghost King has been waiting for Bamboo to come up the mountain. When they met, he simply greeted him, paused, and asked in confusion, Bamboo Cockroach King, what did you find in Qijin continent? Did the last celestial debris fall into Qijin continent? You brought back so many force food storage boxes at once. You got rich, right? Thousands of boxes. It takes a lot of effort to move them. It is impossible to hide it from Chiwu Mountain. Bamboo did not intend to hide it. He laughed. It's not outside the sky. It's underground. Thunder Bamboo Ghost King's eyes fell on the spider silk bag held by Bamboo, and asked, what is it? It looks a bit like a force crystal. Bamboo opened it readily. A full bag. An integer of 10,000 force beads. This is equivalent to 100 million raw stones, which is also a huge fortune for Chiwu Mountain. Moreover, Chiwu Mountain has accumulated experience from past generations. deeply understands the importance of raw stones to the development of the tribe, and attaches great importance to the income and expenditure of raw stones. No matter how prosperous the tribe is, the annual income and expenditure must be greater than the expenditure unless there are other special circumstances. This is, force beads. Outside the sky? Oh no, underground, dug out from underground. Underground. Thunder Bamboo Ghost King. There are some secrets that I can share with you. But, Bamboo tilted his head. A distinguished guest is coming, and a large number of warriors on the mountain are busy preparing force food and fresh meat, and setting up a banquet. The Thunder Bamboo Ghost King waved his tentacles and shouted, "Stay away. Don't get close without my order." Immediately, the busy warriors left. The Thunder Bamboo Ghost King picked up a bead and looked at it repeatedly, and asked, "Bamboo Cockroach King, this is, force bead? Dig it out from the ground?" "No." Hee. Thunder Bamboo Ghost King. "Don't be surprised. This thing is formed by the absorption of force by the life capsule space of our Zerg warriors." The Thunder Bamboo Ghost King was silent, waiting for the next words. Bamboo said, "These are all me, and it took me several years to condense them." Thunder Bamboo Ghost King said, "I have also eaten Ghost King Sephora, and my life capsule has also awakened. For generations, many ancestors have eaten Ghost King Sephora. Could it be that underground is special?" "Yes," Bamboo said, "on this planet, our life capsule capabilities are severely suppressed. Using Ghost King Sephora is actually forcibly awakening the capabilities. But many of the life capsule's capabilities still cannot be used, unless in a special place." Bamboo slowly told the story of Mother Planet Earth, human race, star-crossing dojo, inheritance forbidden land, spaceship, as well as gods, natural true god. The evening breeze blew. The Thunder Bamboo Ghost King was silent for a full half an hour, and then he barely digested the various information Bamboo told him. He couldn't speak for a long time because the shock was too great and there was too much information. So he didn't know where to start. Bamboo took the initiative to say, 30 trillion. The force crystals fell in Chiwu Mountain and Leju County, which is equivalent to an inexhaustible deep well of force. Thunder Bamboo Ghost King said, "But it must be the Ghost King Hwai of Chiwu Mountain to stimulate the awakening of the life capsule." Bamboo said, "That's right." Thunder Bamboo Ghost King asked, "Bamboo Cockroach King, how do you think it is appropriate to distribute it?" Bamboo said, 40% and 60%. Chiwu Mountain takes 60%. Thunder Bamboo Ghost King. There are two small conditions. The first condition is that you can only send the Butterfly King. You can only send the Butterfly King? Bamboo Cockroach King. Is there something else? Thunder Bamboo Ghost King knew that there was no such good thing in the world that was taken for free, and said solemnly, "Bamboo Cockroach King, you took that spaceship and left with the so-called human. I think you'd better be careful. I am now a 6th-year-old insect king, and I have more awakened inherited memories than you. The inherited memory shows that the intelligent races in the starry sky are not friendly to each other. On the contrary, they are filled with war and plunder, hatred and destruction." Bamboo said, "I know." So, Thunder Bamboo Ghost King. The second condition. I need your help, very small. Just a little effort. No danger. The benefits are given in advance. 30 trillion force crystals, minus 95% of the damage, can still condense 15 trillion force beads, which is an inexhaustible resource. Let go of the absorption. Take as much as you can. There was another long silence. Thunder Bamboo Ghost King asked, "Bamboo Cockroach King, what do you want to do?" "I can't say it now." Bamboo said, "You only need to do a very small thing, and then act according to my requirements." Chapter 526 Greedy. The old generation of insect kings of Chiwu Mountain, such as Chiwu Ghost King, Wax Apple Ghost King, Begonia Butterfly King, Hibiscus Butterfly King, etc., have retired for nearly 100 years. After not seeing them for nearly 100 years, Bamboo thought they had all quietly left. But unexpectedly, they were still there. All 4 of them had eaten the Ghost King Sephora Japonica, and their strength was suppressed to the peak of L9 King level. However, Chiwu Ghost King and Wax Apple Ghost King should not show their faces. Therefore, Begonia and Hibiscus Butterfly King followed Bamboo to Chijian Continent. Inheritance Hall. The force was injected, and the hatch opened. "Why are you here again?" Dulong complained about being disturbed, and then asked in surprise, "Why did you bring 2 more?" They are only one dormant evolution away from the planetary level. Bamboo explained, Senior Dulong. They are the warriors of the Jade Butterfly tribe that rule Chiwu Mountain that I mentioned to you. The SSS level force plant that can enhance force talent belongs to their tribe. Chiwu Mountain is amazing. There are as many as 9 SSS level force plants. And countless other high-quality force plants. Dulong. Senior Long. I asked them to come here to condense the force beads. In return, they will give us high-quality force food as a reward. Oh, not bad. Dulong's eyes sparkled. And he suggested, you can let them leave with us. In addition, our spacecraft is not only highly safe, but also fully equipped. We can bring all SSS level force plants. If we stay on Earth, the force will be exhausted after 40,000 years. In the long 200,000 years, all force plants will not be able to escape the fate of exhaustion and death. It's a pity. Don't you think? Bamboo said, yes. I understand. Dulong said, then you can explain it to them. Bamboo said, I'll try. Dulong blinked with satisfaction and asked, how many SSS level force plants do you have in Leju County? Bamboo said, not many. Just 2. 2, that's not bad. Not bad. Dulong said, before leaving. Find a way to collect as many as possible. Bamboo said, I understand. Dulong hesitated for a moment and asked, can I rob? Bamboo smiled bitterly. The tribe I belong to is weak. The weakest kind. How can we rob? No future. Dulong said, forget it. Keep a low profile. Be more responsible. Don't cause trouble. If you attract the attention of the true God of nature, it will be counterproductive. Bamboo agreed. I understand. I'm very low-key. Okay. I know what you want to do. If you can get anything from the Star Crossing Dojo, take it yourself. You don't have to report to me every time you come here. Dulong rolled his eyes and glanced at the 2 butterfly kings who didn't understand what they were saying and were full of questions. Finally, he reminded them, you can try harder to win over Chiwu Mountain. Even if you find a new habitable planet in the future, it will definitely need some transformation. Soldiers with different abilities can play different roles in transforming the planet. Ben said, Senior Dulong. This is not easy to do. It's better to be careful. I'll try? Yes. Be careful. Try. However, there is no need to worry so much. The natural true gods will not deliberately pay attention to 1 or 2 young Protoss warriors who are not even at the planetary level. After Dulong finished speaking, he got into the command cabin and closed the hatch. Done! Begonia Butterfly King. Hibiscus Butterfly King. You can start now. Bamboo Cockroach King. Is it okay? Is that the electronic life with attacking ability you mentioned? It does look fierce. Don't worry. It has no ill will towards us. On the contrary, it is full of goodwill. It's okay. Forget it. Under the protection of the gods, I don't think they have the courage to cause trouble. Yes. Bamboo nodded his tentacles in agreement and asked, Begonia Butterfly King. Excuse me. What is the size of your life capsule space now? Begonia Butterfly King replied, oval. Half the length of your body. And the width is similar to your body length. Bamboo said, try it and see if it can continue to grow. Hibiscus Butterfly King rushed to answer, of course. Bamboo said, then please grow with peace of mind. The 2 Butterfly Kings. Let's test it first. This test took 3 months directly. 3 months later, the life capsules of Begonia Butterfly King and Hibiscus Butterfly King reached their limits one after another. The same level of strength. Different individual situations. Slightly different space sizes. The long diameter of Begonia Butterfly King's life capsule space reached about 2.5 meters. Hibiscus Butterfly King's was only 2.2 meters. Preliminary speculation is that the size of the space should be mainly determined by the basic physique, followed by the original force talent. The efficiency of condensing the original force beads also varies. Begonia Butterfly King opened his mouth first, and 200 original force beads fell to the ground. My physical energy is almost exhausted. I need to eat to replenish it, and it would be best if I can rest comfortably for 2 days. Opening his mouth, it was 2 million. And Begonia Butterfly King was in a very good mood. Hibiscus Butterfly King was also very excited and said, with the strength of a 9th age Butterfly King, I can condense 50 force beads a day, which is 500,000 raw stones. You are a little slow. I can condense about 60 a day. Begonia Butterfly King was not competing with others and showing off. He carefully considered his words and inferred, basic physique is very important. Unfortunately, our growth has reached the extreme, and there is no possibility of further progress. Hibiscus Butterfly King thought about it, and analyzed. Force concentration is also the key. King Bamboo. Can you connect 2 more force pipelines to increase the force transmission rate? Bamboo said, 3 pipelines can transport the equivalent of 1.8 million per day. The force of the raw stones. There is no need to expand for the time being. Right? Ahem. If the 2 Butterfly Kings think it is necessary, then we can transport a batch of raw stones from Chiwu Mountain and make 3 more pipelines. Beitang Butterfly King asked, didn't you say that the force stored here is almost inexhaustible? There is no such thing as waste. Right? That's true. Bamboo said, then I'll ask Baizu and the others to run a trip and transport a batch of materials. Beitang Butterfly King urged, hurry up and arrange it. Beiwang beasts are in chaos. And Leiju Ghost King sent another team of 500 warriors to be responsible for the defense of Leiju Peak. Making a fortune is important. Bamboo brought enough force food for growth on this trip, and also stayed in the inheritance hall, concentrating on absorbing the force and condensing the force beads. The strength is low and the speed is slightly slow. 10 beads a day. That is also 1 million raw stones. 5 days later, Baiju set off with 5,000 force beads. A year and a half later, the ship returned, carrying with it a large number of soldiers who carried bags of raw stones to the canyon. The number of pipelines for transporting the force suddenly expanded to 9. On the way back, 5 bags of force beads were sent back to Chiwu Mountain. Each generation was an integer of 10,000 beads. 100 million raw stones? 5 bags would be 500 million. The total number of force plants on the continent would not change, nor would the total amount of force food produced each year. In silence, a hard currency similar to force crystals, force beads, flowed out from many Spider King level caravans, and purchased force food at high prices. The prices of the entire continent were raised to a higher level. Unknowingly, in a short period of 10 years, the force beads, which were light in weight, large in force capacity, high in strength and not easy to break, combined with various advantages, and easy to carry, became the mainstream currency for bulk trade between the 2 continents of 10,000 races and 10,000 nations. No one would have thought that such a huge fortune was all produced by the 3 insect kings at a rate of 40,000 beads per year. With the improvement of currency, caravans can reduce the number of heavy raw stones, and the energy saved can be used to carry more force food. The Force Pearl indirectly promoted the prosperity of trade. Chapter 527 Finale. After ensuring safety, Chiwu Mountain sent 2 more Butterfly Kings. They are named Gardenia and Clove, and their strengths are L4 and L5 Butterfly Kings respectively, and they are the same period as Leiju Ghost King. When the Insect Kings are promoted to the 9th age, they have the guidance of inherited memory. They only need to transform all their life plants into tree heart forms before their lifespans are exhausted, and put them into the life capsule. When the stars sense them, they will release their divine power to guide them, and leave quietly. The Insect Kings who are qualified to leave from various tribes on the continent often agree on a time, and when it is about the same time, they will go together. According to Haitang Butterfly King, the latest batch of Insect Kings to leave, that is, the batch of Chiwu Ghost King and Haitang Butterfly King, will leave after 150 years. Leiju and his batch may have to wait another 400 to 500 years to lead the tribe through the most difficult period of decline before they can leave with peace of mind. Everyone has plenty of time, and there is a lot to do. Due to the serious leakage of the force in the underground pipeline, the force concentration around the canyon jumped to about 0.6, and the force coverage area reached a diameter of about 50 kilometers. The Red Cockroach tribe warriors stationed in the canyon all year round simply managed the sea of cherry trees. A large number of ordinary small cockroaches, and occasionally small warriors were born. There are 4 stronger and more efficient Butterfly Kings guarding the inheritance hall to condense the force beads. After a long time, Bamboo became a little slack and missed the life in Leiju Peak. While the strength has not yet been improved, he simply sits in Leiju Peak and enjoys the comfortable time. While the number of insect tribe warriors has skyrocketed, the northern wilderness beast warriors have also exceeded their limit. The raw stone veins cannot support more warriors, so they are driven south and go south over the mountains. Starting from the central region, the situation became more and more serious year by year, spreading rapidly across the entire continent. Thousands of beast warriors went south, But they would not act together, but would break up into small groups, scatter and roam, hide and lurk, and wait for an opportunity to move. The various insect kingdoms became busy, organizing warriors, deploying defenses, patrolling, encircling and suppressing. It was indeed a bad time. The insect warriors could no longer farm with peace of mind, and entered a tense state of combat readiness. Every summer and autumn harvest season was a period of frequent looting. Standing at the cosmic level, Bamboo was very sure that this was a deliberate design by the insect gods to create a disaster. The combat talent was engraved in the genetic genes, but it also required certain external factors to stimulate awakening. The guerrilla sneak attacks of the beast warriors in the northern wilderness were the best training. Li Zhufeng was also unable to escape the disaster. For decades, almost every year when the force food matured on a large scale, the warriors' territories were attacked, and it was hard to defend against. The entire Red Blatten tribe, and even the entire Fire Lotus Kingdom were like this. The most serious one was when nearly 1,000 beast warriors crossed the river from the south and approached quietly, attempting to attack Liju Peak. Fortunately, they were discovered in time and sniped in advance. After a battle, the losses were kept to a minimum. After nearly 100 years, the beast plague on the continent finally subsided. In the night sky, the number of stars was reduced to about 60, compared with the peak period when the number of stars exceeded 100. It was obvious that the probability of the birth of a young warrior was reduced by about 50%. After 100 years, Liju County gradually became a large county with a population of nearly 10,000. Due to the limitation of the output of force food, most of the tribe stopped at high-level warriors with a short lifespan of 50 years. Older warriors died of old age, and the probability of young warriors being born decreased. The insect population of the entire tribe began to grow slowly. After being promoted to Cockroach King, Hong Nao and Duju rarely participated in the management of the territory. According to Bamboo's request, they tried to stay out as little as possible and stay in their own territory to grow up peacefully. Nightingale took over Hong Dao's position. The Bamboo Sea was managed by Dong Yu. Midsummer. Dry season. Dong Yu carried Baba and landed in front of Bamboo's living cave. Bamboo. Good news. What's the matter? Baba rushed to answer. God-quality God-given seeds. Dong Yu hurriedly said, Shengyin Mountain. The Shengju breeding base. A God-given seed was born this year. It looks extraordinary. Baba happened to pass by. Please help check it and confirm it is a God-quality seed. Bamboo asked, God-given birth? Or natural birth? Baba replied, God-given. Oh, I see. God-given births are not so rare. Bamboo gently shook his tentacles and said, Let's go and have a look. Baba took off and landed on Bamboo's head, asking, You don't seem surprised at all? It's something that will happen sooner or later. What's there to be surprised about? Baba asked back. Baba, why are you going to Shengyin Mountain again? Nothing, Baba said. There is a silly little soldier who is very interesting. I am playing with him. Time is running out. Try to show up less and gradually dilute the memory of the younger soldiers about us. I understand. I understand. Baba didn't care, but reluctantly said, In fact, there is nothing wrong with staying here. Shengyin Mountain has always been led by Shengyin as the mountain master, leading more than 20 soldiers who love bamboo, specializing in cultivating 2 bamboo species, Shengyin bamboo and Lane bamboo. After 200 years, there was finally a breakthrough. In late autumn, the seeds matured, taking advantage of the rainy season. They were sown directly by the lake, close to the iron gallbladder, and they were partners. A divine seed with a life-extending effect was enough to ensure the longevity of Liju County in the future. So far, Bamboo was completely relieved. Agreed time. A large number of familiar old insect kings, such as the Chiwu Ghost King, the Wax Apple Ghost King, the Begonia Butterfly King, the Hibiscus Butterfly King, the Spruce Mantis King, etc., either disappeared silently or died of exhaustion. The warriors who were familiar with their existence, those who were at the level of insect kings, knew a little about the inside story, and those who were not at the level of insect kings had exhausted their lifespans or were about to die of exhaustion. These changes did not cause a big response. Everything on the continent remained the same, still as peaceful as before. Especially in winter. It was silent. In the Orchid Mountains, 300 years have passed since the wreckage fell. The strength of the Chingo Mantis King stopped at L1. And he had truly entered the aging period. He had long stopped caring about the food of the race, and enjoyed his old age in his own territory. Instead, the new Mantis King Juniper presided over all affairs of Chingo County and related branch mountains. The Dow Mantis tribe used the earth and stone ability to attach a thick layer of stone skin to the outer shell of the wreckage, and then adhered a layer of soil on the surface to sow plants. Looking around, it was a green and lush land, perfectly hiding the metal wreckage. Inside the spacecraft, the energy compartment was operating normally. In the hot summer, there was an air conditioning system to cool down. In the cold winter, there was a heating system in the ship, and the temperature inside the ship was always kept constant, like spring all year round. The lights inside the wreckage were shining, which could provide light sources. Therefore, the ship was also transformed by the Knife Mantis tribe into various agricultural products, filled with potted plants, and built ditches for drainage, forming a closed and unique ecosystem. Mountain warriors live in it. In winter, there are still millions of ordinary knife mantises and various insects flying and crawling all over the cabin. Juniper Mantis King followed Bamboo. Bamboo Cockroach King. What do you need? Just dismantle it. Juniper Mantis King shook his tentacles majestically. Bamboo sent a whole bag of force beads, which is 100 million raw stones. The Knife Mantis tribe is stingy by nature, and they keep a close eye on the wreckage of the spacecraft. Foreign warriors are not allowed to enter and visit easily. However, with money in place, they become easy to talk to. No, I just dismantle a few small things. The cabin is full of plants. Bamboo can't recognize the road and has to use his mental power to scan and search. After wandering around for a long time, he finally found it according to his memory, the video game entertainment cabin of the Luan K-704 transport spacecraft. Soldiers on duty usually have many ways to relax and have fun, but they are not just entertainment. Video games can also be regarded as virtual war combat tactical training. Entering an electronic virtual battlefield, you can experience and become familiar with various interstellar wars, and improve the warrior's war literacy. The equipment is basically intact. Bamboo checked one by one and soon found a small cabin. Juniper Mantis King. I need to dismantle this cabin and all the equipment in the cabins next to it. There are 6 small cabins in a row, and each cabin has a square box-shaped thing of unknown purpose. The thing is not small and takes up space. The Knife Mantis tribe has long thought about dismantling it and moving it away, but they don't have the ability to do so, since he couldn't use it anyway. The Juniper Mantis King said cheerfully, "Tear it down." These are data boxes for virtual games, with a huge information storage capacity, and each box can hold partial information of a galaxy. Things are valuable and fragile, so the boxes are embedded in the plywood of the spacecraft. Bamboo activated his metal ability and began to cut, directly cutting off the box and the plywood. The people who went with him were Hongdao, Duju, Hongmi, and Pyracantha, the core warriors of Liju Peak. At this time, their strength had reached the level of Cockroach Kings, and each of them carried one box and transported it back to Liju Peak, the bamboo forest at the foot of the mountain, next to the location of the giant dragon bamboo God-given seeds, had already cleared a large open space in advance, and a row of houses were built with earth and stone. The boxes were transported back and placed in the houses. The first level electric box supplied electricity, and these devices started to operate again. There was also a set of equipment connected to the bamboo pole of the giant dragon bamboo God-given seeds. Dragon. This is the sole operator I mentioned to you. Inside the house is the storage device. Try to connect to the communication information database. After a moment, the dragon tree spirit replied briefly, "Yes." Bamboo asked, "Do you understand the principle of its information writing?" The dragon tree spirit said, "I just heard about the simple theoretical knowledge from Baba. It takes some time to get familiar with it." "It's okay. We have plenty of time." Bamboo said, "You can try to delete the data in the instrument first." "I'll try." The dragon tree spirit changed his words and asked, "Very interesting information. Bamboo, is this the starry sky? Let me take a look first." Bamboo said, "It's almost the same. They are all based on the real universe, and the virtual starry sky is formed by data. Of course, the information capacity is limited, and the processor computing power is limited. It can only be restored in a very one-sided way, which is very different from the real universe and starry sky. In terms of electronic technology, Bamboo must admit that his IQ is not enough. Humans are very wary of electronic life. When Baba was manufactured, she was restricted and could not touch the programming aspect. Otherwise, the built-in self-destruction program would be triggered and all of Baba's data would be destroyed. The tree spirits of the divine seed of God have super high IQ and can do the job. Theoretical knowledge alone is not enough. The equipment that Bamboo took back is specially for the giant dragon tree spirit to practice. Bamboo's requirements are not high, as long as he can reach the level of compiling electronic life programs like Baba. The news of leaving was informed to the three divine seeds of God, Tai Dan Kuili, Jui Honglian and Tada. Tai Dan Kuili refused to leave, and it insisted on waiting for the return of the gods. Tada agreed to leave, but his IQ has not been fully restored so far, and it is unknown whether the third metamorphosis evolution can make a difference. Jui Honglian has been resisting the suppression of divine power and trying to break through the shackles of life. Naturally, she is willing to follow Bamboo and become the second helper. After the dragon tree spirits mastered the electronic programming, the equipment was moved to the lakeside for Jui Honglian to practice and learn. Time flows slowly in the silence like water. The stars in the night sky dimmed one by one. As expected, in the 360th year of Bamboo, the number of stars was less than 30, and the number of insects in Leju County began to decline. In the 460th year of Bamboo, the last star disappeared, and the starry sky at night was dark and lightless. The number of insects in Leju County fell below 10,000 and entered a plummeting mode. The number of warriors who aged and died each year exceeded 100. But the number of new warriors was only a dozen. When the warriors died of old age, the territory was immediately abandoned. Correspondingly, the tree seed plantation they were responsible for suffered a counterattack and invasion by natural plants and became barren within a few years. The decrease in the number of warriors corresponds to the reduction in the size of the forest. The results of hundreds of years of hard work, year after year, are gradually being beaten back to their original form. 500 years of Bamboo. The number of warriors in Leju County has rapidly decreased to 1,000. Since all of them are County Lord level and Mountain Lord level warriors, the rate of decline has slowed down. The same is true for the caravans traveling around the continent. The 4 large caravans that used to have regular exchanges with Leju County have reduced the number of warriors, and the old warriors have aged and died. In the end, only 2 king-level caravans, Yuju and Chonglu, are left. Their strength stops at L1 Spider King, and they will also enter the aging period soon. They plan to merge the 2 into 1. And finally Shuemai will be in charge. With the funding of Bamboo, Shuemai also became the only flame spider warrior in all caravans who continued to grow after the Spider King. The situation of the Red Bladis tribe is also not optimistic. The number of insects in the Taidao Mountains, Dian Mountains, Hongju Mountains and Yuanjinping Mountains has been irreversibly reduced, and the forest has withered and desolate. The young warriors born every year have begun to move to the Jinping Mountains. The warriors from Chuirong County, Wangyang Mountain Range, and Qingang Mountain Range will be transferred to Qijin County. Integrate resources. Leju County, Qijin County, Ginkgo County, and Yoli County. The 4 counties will serve as the last base for the continuation of the Qi Blatodia tribe. In the long 300 years of dark and lightless decline, the weak races will be eliminated and destroyed. Those powerful tribes are also in trouble. They must concentrate resources to cultivate as many county-level warriors as possible to ensure the immortality of the race. Bamboo was born in the early stage of the development from decline to prosperity. He personally witnessed the rise and prosperity of the tribe. And now he sees everything he built going down. He only feels that everything is like a bubble dream, and his heart is not disturbed. If we had known this, we would have made arrangements. We have selected outstanding young warriors and arranged for them to be promoted to Cockroach Kings. With young Cockroach Kings and many Princess Warriors, we can 100% guarantee the immortality of the race's inheritance. Rat King is the second to reach the L9 Beast King level after Bamboo. In the next 100 years, warriors such as Belly Bamboo, Red Rice, Dragon Bamboo, Crown Pear, Big Head, Big Bear, Oil Tea, etc. will all be promoted to the L9 King level. We can start preparations. Bamboo took Rat King to the star-piercing dojo. Senior Dulong. The stars in the night sky have completely disappeared, and the natural true god has fallen into an extremely weak period. Can we start the final preparations? Have the stars finally disappeared? We can start now. Dulong asked, what's going on over at Chiwu Mountain? For hundreds of years, They have been absorbing the dojo's original force and condensing the original force beads. Many Butterfly Kings in Chiwu Mountain agreed to leave with us. But what? Bamboo tilted his head slightly, glanced at the Butterfly King lying in the hall concentrating on condensing the force beads, and said, "They still don't trust me and are only willing to take away 3 SSS-level force plants." 3 plants? Yulong was unable to hide his disappointment and asked, "What about the territory you rule? How many plants are there now?" Bamboo replied, "There have always been only 2 plants, one of which is my life seed, and one is the 9-leaf red lotus, which can condense the tree heart at any time and leave with me. Only 5 plants in total? And one is your life seed." Yulong said, "I understand." Bamboo shook his tentacles and called, "Rat King, go down and learn star navigation knowledge from Senior Yulong." There was not much time left, so Bamboo also stayed in the Inheritance Hall, following the Butterfly King of Chiwu Mountain to condense the force beads. In more than 300 years, a total of more than 25 million force beads were obtained, of which 10 million were sent back to the Wanzu continent to store the tribal territory. In addition, there were 15 million, all hidden in the canyon. Knowing that the continent's force would be exhausted in 40,000 years, the 2 tribes made another agreement to set up survival bases on both sides of the canyon. Once the Wanzu continent showed signs of force exhaustion, the tribal warriors and the divine seeds of the gods would be transferred here, relying on the force slowly overflowing from the Chuanqing dojo to continue the tribe's inheritance. There are 30 trillion force crystals in reserve deep underground, and less than 10 trillion were consumed before and after. Perhaps it can survive the long 200,000 years, usher in the next force revival, and wait until the gods return. Before leaving, all Bamboo could do was to reserve as many force beads as possible for the insects and descendants of the Cockroach tribe. Time passed quickly for another 100 years. "Senior Yulong, how is the Rat King doing in his studies?" "Not bad. After all, he is a force creature. At least his memory is not bad. He can do the job." "Then I feel relieved." Bamboo asked, "Senior Yulong, can we start preparing? It's time to leave." Yulong sighed. The sword turned, glanced at the 4 Butterfly Kings in the Inheritance Hall, and said, "Clean up all the messy things. You go out first. The Inheritance Hall is part of the spacecraft, and it is the most important emergency escape capsule. The escape capsule and the command capsule will sink into a base 2,000 kilometers deep underground, and will be transported to the coastal base through parallel tracks, where they will dock with other cabins, complete assembly, and sail in the deep sea. Finally, the spacecraft will depart from the sea surface, with the specific coordinates of 20 degrees east longitude and 20 degrees south latitude. The spacecrafts in the southern hemisphere all depart from there." "I see." Bamboo asked, "When is the right time to make an appointment?" Yulong asked, "Are all the other things ready?" "Plant and Protoss gene samples are collected." Bamboo said, "Everything is ready. Just waiting for your order. That will be 1 year later." Yulong said, "The Rat King will continue to follow me. I needed to issue several important startup commands." Bamboo replied in a sonorous voice, "I see. Hurry up and clean up the emergency escape capsule." Yulong ordered, and took the Rat King back into the command cabin. Bamboo turned around and called, "Lilac Butterfly King, we should go. Are you going?" "That's fine." Lilac Butterfly King sighed. "I hope the remaining force here can ensure the continuation of our race." "I will." Bamboo activated his metal power, throwing away all the force transmission pipelines that were connected to the Inheritance Hall, flapping his wings, cleaning the ground, and shouting, "The corresponding equipment is about to start. Let's leave quickly." Ding Xiang and the 4 Butterfly Kings acted quickly, walked out of the Inheritance Hall, and closed the door, crowded in the passage outside the door, and watched curiously. Half an hour later, the ground shook slightly, and then the hall began to sink underground, leaving a large pit with a diameter of 50 meters. Lying on the edge and looking down, the hall accelerated downwards, and after another half a day, a bottomless pit was left. Bamboo commanded Baba to close the force chambers in each residential building, simply packed up and took away most of the warriors gathered in the canyon, leaving only a small number to continue to guard. At this time, at the right time, Liz Yufeng and Chuishan have already started to prepare. The most important life plants have been put into the life capsules. There are no stars in the sky, so there is no way to trigger the divine power to guide them. They can't leave for the time being. The second is 12,000 boxes of force food. It is not appropriate to make the departure public. And it is not appropriate to mobilize the younger generation of soldiers. They are all carried by the king-level soldiers who have eaten the giant dragon bamboo fruit, walking across the dragon bamboo continent and loading on the coast. A 1,000-ton boat without a power system. Bamboo used the metal ability to control the navigation. Set off first, and arrived at the agreed sea area. Chapter 528 Finale, Part 2. The sky was gloomy, and the strong winds were rolling up the waves. Bamboo lay on the deck, silently watching the coast ahead, manipulating the metal ability. The 100-ton boat rose and fell with the waves, but never moved a bit. Baizu, Maju and the 6 bamboo rat warriors followed behind, with ulterior motives, inevitably a little nervous, and all seemed a little restless. The waves suddenly became chaotic. A pitch-black disc-shaped spaceship slowly rose from the sea. Wow! Looking at the huge monster in front, Baiyu exclaimed and quickly covered his mouth. Is this the Xuanlong? It's not very big, Bamboo muttered. The diameter of the spacecraft is about 5 kilometers. Compared with the Luan K-704 transport spacecraft that I have taken before, it can be said to be delicate and compact. With a scan of the spiritual power, I found the extraordinariness of this spacecraft and was shocked. The outer shell is made of silver edge alloy material, which is one of the materials with the highest comprehensive strength known, and has excellent force transmission performance. After infusing the force, the strength is comparable to the metal core of the Master Realm. The relevant synthetic materials are priced by gram, and a silver blade is a lifelong luxury for countless warriors. Silver Edge spacecraft, and there are 55 such spacecrafts in total. It must have been built with all the wealth plundered by humans in the Battle of the Stars. No wonder Dulong is so confident in the safety performance of the Xuanlong. The hull and outer shell can withstand the normal intensity of space turbulence directly. A small half of the spacecraft floated out of the sea. The hatch for loading and unloading large cargo slowly opened, and the landing platform extended. Bamboo quickly manipulated the boat to approach. Dulong was standing in front of the hatch, his green eyes moving, scanning the area, and asked, "Only force food and 6 bamboo rats?" When entering the starry sky, the most important thing is force food, and electronic equipment cannot be touched, so I escorted it alone. There are too many other things, so they are transported by a larger ship. They are already on the way. It should be because of the strong wind and waves that they are slightly delayed. What's the importance of force food? It's unnecessary. Dulong was a little dissatisfied, and then said, "Move them all in. Send them to the 5th floor. Cabins A201 to 209 are all vacant and can be stored temporarily." Understood. Bamboo waved his tentacles and commanded, "Baiju, Maju, move the things and follow me." After that, he used his metal ability to control the boat and rushed to the landing platform. Dulong asked, "Where are the SSS-level force plants?" Ben said, "The force plants are condensed into tree cores and transported here with the giant ship." Dulong asked again, "How many warriors are going to follow us? How about the collection of plant and Protoss samples?" Ben said, "The warriors who left with us include red cockroaches, butterflies, ants, ghost locusts, fantasy flame spiders, and beast tribes. A total of 40 warriors. Among them, 10 beast warriors have practiced genetic martial arts. So there is no need to worry too much about the consumption of force food on the road. There are more than 100,000 plant species and more than 1,000 Protoss tribes. All in one go. 30 insect warriors? That's okay. The force food stored in the spacecraft is basically enough." Dulong said, "Pack up quickly. The storm is coming." The storm came soon. Thunder roared and lightning cut through the darkness. The sea was rough. A huge ship was approaching slowly. Many L9 King-level peak warriors, who had awakened metal abilities on the ship, worked together to activate their metal abilities and accurately maneuvered the ship to the landing hatch. Bamboo, Rat King, and Dulong were waiting. "Bamboo!" Baiju stood at the bow, shouting with spiritual power. Baba took off directly and landed on the landing platform, exclaiming repeatedly, "Wow! Wow! Wow! This spaceship is amazing!" "Another bamboo rat? 8-headed bamboo rat warrior?" Dulong asked curiously. "Baba, you are late for half a day." Bamboo said a word of disrespect, encouraged his telekinesis, and scolded, "Be quick. Unload the things quickly. Follow Baiyu and Maju. Send them to the corresponding cabin. and store them in cold storage as required. Bamboo explained to Dulong humbly, my territory is mainly planted with bamboo, and there are many bamboo rats. So I adopted 8 bamboo rat warriors, a stone cat warrior, and a black bear warrior. While explaining, warriors of all kinds jumped to the landing cabin with a bang. The big bear came to Bamboo with a spider silk bag. Dulong glanced and said in surprise, SSS level force plant. Lotus seed form. Lotus? Yes. Bamboo replied, 9-leaf red lotus is quite special, condensing the lotus seed form tree heart. Bamboo. Is this the Dulong senior you mentioned? 9-leaf red lotus asked. Yes. Bamboo answered. Senior Dulong. Hello. Jui Honglian took the initiative to greet him. Well, hello. Haha. You are the most powerful SSS level force plant I have ever seen. You have almost broken through and promoted to the star level under the suppression of the power of the gods. It is a wise choice to follow us. You have a bright future. Dulong was extremely satisfied. Daxiong asked, Bamboo. Where is the 9-leaf red lotus? Send it to the cultivation chamber. Bamboo asked, where are the other SSS level force plants? Daxiong stared, scratched his head, and replied, didn't you ask me to keep a close eye on it? I'm hiding on the ship. Bamboo shook his tentacles and urged, Rat King. You are familiar with the spaceship. You lead the way for Daxiong, and settle the 9-leaf red lotus and other divine seeds according to the teachings of Senior Dulong. Hurry. Hurry up. Understood, Rat King replied, and hurried away with Daxiong. Bamboo Cockroach King. Bamboo Cockroach King. Another large group of warriors surrounded them and greeted Bamboo. What race is this? Dulong locked his green eye on the Thunder Bamboo Ghost King and asked. The Ghost Locust tribe is also a small tribe. Bamboo chuckled and said, Senior Dulong. Their tribe also sent an SSS level force plant. Would you like to take a look? Dulong was surprised and asked, there are also SSS level force plants? How many are there in total? 6? Yes. Bamboo chuckled and replied, while encouraging his mental power and transmitting the information, saying, Thunder Bamboo Ghost King. Please show Senior Dulong your divine seed of the divine quality. Okay. Thunder Bamboo Ghost King opened his mouth. The other 3 Ghost Kings following the Thunder Bamboo Ghost King opened their mouths. Instantly, the life weapons of different shapes were spit out. Fixed. Thunder Bamboo Ghost King shouted. The earth and stone power exploded, disrupting the natural gravity. Illusion! Xuanmai, who was mixed in the team, shouted loudly, and colorful mist rose from his body, instantly covering the entire landing hatch. Get up! Bamboo roared, and his metal power exploded. Surrounding him were 2 other Chiwu Ghost Kings who had also awakened their metal power, and they also exploded their metal power. In addition, there were 4 Butterfly Kings, and their lightning power was activated. In just a moment, Dulong lost his ability to move, and he moved and flew out of the landing cabin. During the spurt, the tip of his sword was nailed straight on the giant ship. The sudden siege caught him off guard, and before he could roar, wisps of black mist rose and died. Is that all? The Thunder Bamboo Ghost King asked. It's all right. Bamboo answered with a casual look, secretly took a deep breath, and flew forward. Barba followed and checked, saying, sure enough, there is a soul remnant hidden in this green eyeball. He practiced the soul-stealing secret technique, so he can live so long. His identity is not simple. He should be one of the founding fathers of the federal parliament. It should be. Hee. You are used to being bossy. You really think I am stupid? Bamboo sneered, activated the soul-stealing secret technique, and swept away the overflowing soul power. The metal ability controlled the sword body, flew up, and fell on the deck of the giant ship. Hongdao carried an instrument on the deck, scanned it with mental power, and asked, did it? Bamboo. Is this the sword you said can take our lives? Yes. Bamboo replied, urging, you guys hurry up. Baba urged, hurry up and hold it down. It's not dead yet. There are low-intelligence electronic programs running. It should be part of the digitized soul memory, an auxiliary program. Indeed, the anti-gravity engine of the Dulong sword body started, and it tried to break free. Bamba held the hilt tightly with one forelimb and pressed the blade with the other forelimb to control it. Belly Bamboo, Red Rice, Dragon Bamboo, and Crown Pear emerged one after another, and various equipment was carried out and placed on the splint. Zaya Bezu acted quickly and skillfully to connect the instruments. Finally, the wire connector was connected to the data interface of the hilt. Many times, electronic life needs to copy a large amount of information directly from other storage devices, which have data interfaces. The electronic entertainment cabin has the corresponding connector, and the warrior can bring his own electronic life into the virtual battlefield together. Bamboo opened his mouth and spit out a golden bamboo fruit the size of an egg, the seed-shaped tree heart transformed by the seed of the giant dragon bamboo god. Bamboo. Is it? The sword? It is it. Bamboo said, giant dragon. Implant the virus. Interfere with and destroy its electronic intelligence program. And delete them all. But be careful to protect important information and try not to lose it. Understood. The giant dragon tree spirit skillfully manipulated the equipment and injected the virus program that had been compiled long ago into the Dulong sword. The sword suddenly stopped struggling and screamed in panic, "Don't kill me! I'm not a dragon. I'm just an electronic life. I'm no threat to you." Bamboo didn't speak. Baba asked with a smile, "If you don't die, how can I live?" You. The sword was silent. Many ghost kings and butterfly kings of Chiwu Mountain jumped onto the splint and watched curiously. The Thunder Bamboo Ghost King asked, "Bamboo. Okay. No problem?" Bamboo said, "No problem." The Thunder Bamboo Ghost King asked, "Just grab the spaceship now?" "That's right. This sword is the key to controlling the spaceship. Control it, and you control the spaceship." Thunder Bamboo Ghost King. Please pay attention to the material of the spacecraft shell. This is the strongest silver alloy in the universe. I can't imagine what dangers can threaten such a spacecraft in deep space. Bamboo proudly introduced. And asked for the last time, "Thunder Bamboo Ghost King, how about we leave together?" "Forget it." Thunder Bamboo Ghost King shook his tentacles and said, "We Chiwu Mountain should follow the guidance of the true god of nature and leave." "Then I won't force it." Bamboo said, "I hope that one day we can meet in the starry sky." Bamboo felt a little disappointed. Most insect races are superstitious about the true god of nature, especially the Chiwu Mountain, a large county with a long heritage. They have strong opinions and always think that it is too risky to rob human spacecraft and leave. And they trust the arrangements of the true god of nature more. Thunder Bamboo Ghost King asked, "Bamboo, you leave rashly like this. Are you not going to come back?" Bamboo smiled and said, "I will definitely come back. But I don't know how many tens of thousands of years will pass." As he was speaking, the giant dragon tree spirit reminded him, "Bamboo, the original electronic intelligence program has been erased. Baba, it's your turn." "Okay." Baba couldn't wait to shout, "Little idiot. Hurry up." Little White Bamboo acted quickly and connected the connector to Baba. Data was imported. Baba's database information was relayed and converted through the chassis-specific program, and then transmitted to the Dulong Sword database. The giant dragon tree spirit explained, "Due to the huge amount of information and limited data processing capabilities, the speed is relatively slow, and it will take about 15 hours. Understood." Bamboo turned his head and looked at the landing capsule. After waiting for half a day, 7 bamboo rat warriors led by the Rat King and the Big Bear came out. Big Bear North carried a silver box about 0.5 meters long, jumped directly from the landing hatch, and landed on the giant ship's deck. Rat King followed and jumped up, saying, "Fortunately, we have fulfilled our mission. The storage device, where the main control system of the spacecraft resides, has been found and successfully dismantled. Now the command cabin of the spacecraft has been completely paralyzed." Little White Bamboo moved quickly and immediately pulled another wire connector to connect the box. Without any instructions, the 9-leaf red lotus and the dragon tree spirit cooperated. The dragon tree spirit wiped out the original intelligent program, and the 9-leaf red lotus read the information and temporarily wrote a new intelligent control program. Another half-day passed. The rainstorm stopped and the wind was calm. A ray of golden light suddenly appeared on the eastern horizon. "Okay. It's okay. Bamboo, let me go." The voice of Baba, a young girl, came from the Dulong sword. The information transmission was completed. Bamboo loosened his claws. The sword took off, swayed for a while, and soon stabilized its body. With a swish, it soared into the sky, flew around and landed quickly, hovering in front of Bamboo. "Bamboo, is it powerful?" "Powerful. It's a pity that without a soul, I can't launch an attack." Baba explained, "I don't know what material and bionic technology are used to make the green eyes, similar to the brain where the soul can reside. The scarlet eyes are transformed and disguised by the martial arts core, hiding the original force. The combination of the two eyeballs can launch a certain degree of domination realm attack. I guessed it was like this when I first saw it. Bamboo said, the soul can be digitized. And conversely, data should also be able to be transformed into the soul. Baba. In the future, I will help you find a way to let you have a soul. Haha. With a soul, I'm invincible. Baba laughed, turned the sword, knocked on Baiju's head, and asked, Idiot, what are you all standing there for? Hurry up and move things. The Rat King said, the core intelligent control system has been dismantled, and most of the functions of the spacecraft are paralyzed. Then it depends on me. Baba said proudly, follow me. Baba seized the Yulong sword, and also seized the most important control authority of the spacecraft. On the spacecraft, some important areas also have independent identification systems and genetic identification, which only allow human warriors to pass. The Rat King led the way, and Baba used her authority to open all of them. Bamboo dug out the information storage devices of the identification system one by one, sent them to the splint, and the 9-leaf red lotus and the giant dragon tree spirit deleted and modified the program and reinstalled them. After working hard for more than 10 days, everything was done, and the insect warriors walked inside the spacecraft unimpeded. The robbery was successful. The Thunder Bamboo Ghost King couldn't help but be curious and followed and watched. He saw Bamboo, under the leadership of Baba and Rat King, completed the transformation of the spacecraft with ease, and finally said goodbye and left. They said goodbye to each other. The giant ship slowly sailed away. Bamboo ordered the landing platform to be folded and the hatch closed. Rat King had been studying with Yulong for 100 years and knew the structure of the spacecraft clearly. He also learned the functions and operation methods of each cabin. Together with Baba, he commanded the soldiers to store the various things they carried in different categories. It was not suitable to stay for a long time. Everything was arranged properly, and Bamboo ordered to set off. The spacecraft was an anti-gravity engine. There was no violent sound. It directly got rid of the planet's gravity, quietly left the planet's atmosphere, entered space, started the propulsion engine, and began to enter the acceleration stage. After half a day, it stabilized and sailed at a constant speed. In the control cabin, at the co-pilot seat, there are 8 three-dimensional screens around Bamboo, but only one of them is showing the sun and the earth, and the other 7 are all dark. Baba inserted the sword into the cylinder, calculated and read the route information, and controlled the spacecraft to sail. At the same time, she explained, the database information of Yulong shows that the thickness of the divine barrier laid by the Zerg gods is about 0.5 light years, and the space is blocked. It is impossible to jump and can only sail at a speed lower than 0.1 times the speed of light. The Rat King sitting in the main driver's seat said, in half a year, we will be able to leave the Yuanqing realm and enter the semi-void realm, where the space particles are sparsely distributed and there is no other matter. The spacecraft can be accelerated to 1,000 times the speed of light, sailing at a constant speed of 300,000 light years, and gradually entering the main universe with a higher density of space particles. The spacecraft slows down and changes to the space jump navigation mode. Baba rushed to say, we will travel for 100 years and arrive at the first stop, the Star Road information collection base set up by humans. We will get the route, and then we will officially embark on the journey back to the main universe. Bamboo asked, it will take 400 years to reach the first stop? Baba said, it takes 400 years to enter the main universe with dark matter. It will take at least thousands of years to reach the universe with positive matter. We need to find a galaxy rich in positive matter as soon as possible to replenish fuel if we continue to travel. If we are close to the center of the universe, fuel is no longer a problem. The biggest danger is space turbulence. In the vast starry sky, distance and time are also deadly opponents. The space is vast, and stars and planets are like sand in the sea, with extremely rare distribution. The members who followed included flame-clustered spotted grass, red rice, belly bamboo, red rice, pyracantha, dragon bamboo, crown pear, fire bamboo, light bamboo, diabolo, nightingale, cycad, brown chestnut, tortoiseshell vine, peach, cattail, big head, wedge-shaped thorn, snow wheat, big bear, white bamboo, small white bamboo and 6 bamboo rat warriors led by the Rat King. Including bamboo, there are as many as 20 insect warriors. And they can only grow by eating a lot of force food. The force food stored on the spacecraft is limited after all. So the strength that can be achieved is limited, and the lifespan is limited. So everyone must find a habitable planet before the lifespan is exhausted. The ability to transform the planet is limited. And a habitable planet must meet 3 conditions: moderate temperature and light, moderate volume and gravity, and most importantly, abundant natural force. Baba, calculate the force food on the spacecraft, and estimate what level everyone can grow to at most. I have already checked and counted it, calculated it, and arranged it reasonably. And everyone can be promoted to the star level. There is still some surplus. Bamboo, you can try to be promoted to the constellation level. The planetary level is considered to be the initial step into the ranks of the cosmic life level, with a lifespan of about 2,000 years. This lifespan is only a short moment in the universe, and everyone must use the resources on the spacecraft to be promoted to the star level, or even the extinction level. The extinction level has a lifespan of 5,000 years, and it is difficult to guarantee that you can find a habitable planet alive. The safest way is to be promoted to the constellation level. Got it. Bamboo left the co-pilot seat and said, Baba, you are responsible for operating the spacecraft. Rat King, you should also seize the time to grow and break through to the planetary level first. The human spacecraft was originally planned to carry 1,000 human warriors. 5 people in a team, living in one cabin. So there are as many as 200 cabins. The partition material used inside is not so luxurious. Bamboo was not polite and dismantled it, merging 3 adjacent cabins into a spacious and comfortable single room. After nearly half a month of continuous tossing and turning, I didn't have time to sleep and rest. I was exhausted. After a simple meal, I went into the cabin to rest. In a trance, a ball of green mist rolled in front of him, condensing into the heart of a tree. It was clearly a tree, but Bamboo felt that it had eyes. Silently watching him, Bamboo was alert all over, and the third eye on his forehead moved instinctively. He looked and saw a small green tree. Soul consciousness materialized? You are the true God of nature. Yes. Consciousness information without any emotional fluctuations. I can't hide it from you after all. It was originally arranged by me. How can I hide it from you? Yes. I knew it was like this. Bamboo smiled bitterly and asked, Is this the soul consciousness of a level 10 life form? It turns out that the true God of nature is a tree. Yes. Bamboo felt that the other party had no ill intentions, but he couldn't understand the sudden intention, and didn't dare to ask more questions. Long silence. The God of nature finally broke his silence and said, You seem to have made a mistake. What is it? At the beginning, we were moving to the Metastar realm, and a human transport ship that had returned from plundering was accidentally involved in the wormhole we constructed. What was even more surprising was that I found that the ship was carrying the life core of a fallen level 10 life form. And I also happened to find that a large number of soul fragments were miraculously attached to a metal core, and the weak soul could actually gather and not be destroyed. So I took advantage of the situation and reorganized the trivial memories of this human soul into data and recorded them in the metal core. At the appropriate time, the data information was converted into genetic information and injected into the genes of a new cockroach egg. At the same time, this Protoss warrior was given several special abilities. Me? Yes. I have always wondered how a planetary soul could exist for such a long time without being destroyed. Yes, a weak soul cannot exist for more than 1,000 years without a body. But the storage time of data information can exist indefinitely due to the carrier material. You are essentially a god, not a human. And you have obtained the memory of that human warrior. You have always mistakenly believed that you are a human. God, why me? I need to choose a god warrior to inherit the 10th level life core. I will choose randomly. You are very lucky. You give me the ability to fuse life cores? Yes. Why don't you fuse it yourself? No need. No need? Bamboo has nothing to say for this reason. There was another silence. It was the true God of nature who broke the silence first, and asked leisurely, Since you have inherited human memory and no more knowledge, let me ask you, what is the ultimate goal of genetic evolution? Becoming a god? Bamboo had completely calmed down from his shock at this time, and said, he shook his tentacles and said, The 10th level true god is already an unimaginable supreme existence. It seems that you still don't understand. The true God of nature said, the 8th level life form is a demigod. The 9th level life form is a god. And the 10th level life form calls itself a true god. These titles are all my early ignorant titles. The 10th level is indeed the top existence in this universe. It has broken free from the limitations of lifespan. But it cannot break free from the limitations of matter. I still need to consume matter to replenish my physical energy, and consume the force to maintain the vitality of the force gene. Bamboo said, I understand. The force is a kind of substance between existence and non-existence. Between reality and illusion. The ultimate goal of life evolution is to get rid of the constraints of matter. The universe is constantly changing. And life is evolving. Only by getting rid of the limitations of matter can we travel through the void and transcend the universe. Like getting out of a cage and gaining freedom. It seems that you are not that stupid. The true God of nature said, so far. Your growth has been arranged by me. But my remaining ability is limited to the metastar realm. Once you leave the divine barrier and return to the main universe, you must rely on your own abilities to survive. I also arranged this spaceship for you. There are human genes on the spaceship. Don't abandon it. Find a habitable planet and choose to actually use it. I integrated human memories for you because I found that simply absorbing the force is not enough. Force. The 10th level of genetic evolution is the limit and cannot be broken through. Technological civilization may be a way out. Bamboo said, I merged a 10th level life core. Which means that a 10th level life form has fallen. Nature True God said, that should be an ancient existence from the previous universe era. Or even earlier. 10th level life forms are not omnipotent. Nor are they immortal. On the contrary. There are too many powerlessness and countless possibilities of falling. I was also born in the Yuanqing realm, which is the mother planet of the Earth, because the root position happened to have a 10th level life core from an unknown era. I was fortunate to become the nature true God in the end. The essence is still a life form that absorbs the original force and becomes stronger. In the future, you will also have the hope of reaching the same level of life as me. And you will be stuck at the 10th level like me. Bamboo asked, can't we continue to absorb the force to grow after level 10? The true God of nature said, yes. But it seems like an endless abyss. With no end or hope. Perhaps. It's because I am a plant. And my life essence is limited. You are a Protoss. And your life essence is that of the Zerg. So maybe it will be different. Bamboo didn't know how to answer. Plants can directly absorb the force to grow. Zerg warriors need to eat the force food condensed by the force plants to grow. If you think about it carefully, genetic evolution is obviously restricted and one step behind plants. Bamboo was full of doubts and didn't know where to start for a while. You can't take the same path as me. So I can't tell you too much. Go. Don't come back before you find the answer. And don't come to me. Now. You are independent of the natural gods. Learn to think for yourself. Explore for yourself the secrets of life. The green tree turned into a shadow, blurred, and disappeared. Bamboo shook his head vigorously, feeling dazed and as if waking up from a dream. The fatigue of the past few days was swept away, and he felt refreshed. He looked around and found that he was indeed on the spaceship. It was not a dream. The spaceship was sailing at a constant speed, passing through the divine barrier. The light behind him gradually disappeared, and there was endless darkness in front of him. The first step on the star journey is to find that little bit of light in the darkness.